Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, Say What's Real TV. This review is for the season finale of Tylerperry's Zatima, Season 1, Episode 10, To Be Frank. We open up the episode exactly where we left off on Episode 9. We have Bryce. He's trying to peel himself up off the floor because, as we remember, Zach hit his ass for trying to kiss him. The ladies walked in. Fatima and Angela, they're looking like, what the hell is going on? And Bryce says, oh, we're just playing around. It's nothing going on, you know. We were just trying out this boxing move. And he reaches out for Zach to help him up. And reluctantly, he ends up helping him up or whatever. And Angela is looking like playing around. And she goes over to Bryce, gives him a kiss or whatever. Bryce tells her, oh, I didn't know you were coming. She said, well, is it a problem? And I'm like, well, what's the problem? So the ladies, they're admiring the office space and looking around. And Bryce says, do you want to see my office? So, you know, he probably done got rock hard by now. He done got turned on. So he probably done went in there and banged her out real quick like. Fatima asked Zach what the hell happened, and he said the mofo tried to kiss him. So Fatima was like, what, and you hit him? And I'm like, it goddamn right. Zach was like, it was his reflex. And, you know, it is what it is. So she said, you always find yourself in some bullshit. And Zach tells her, like, look, I wasn't even doing nothing. I mean, Zach was minding his own business in his own little bubble. Zach be acting kind of slow because I don't know how he didn't feel that Bryce was up to something the way he was over there talking next to him looking at that computer. But anyway, so Fatima busts out laughing like she at the improv or something, and she think it is so funny. Zach is like, it's not funny, it's not funny. They're going back and forth. She thinks it's hilarious. She's like, oh, I thought I had to worry about Deja, but I got to worry about Bryce. So, Zach tells her that he was triggered, and she stopped laughing then and was like, triggered? Like, what you mean triggered? This happened to you in jail? And he's like, no. So she keeps laughing about it. She was like, okay, I'm going to stop. But, you know, Fatima, it really wasn't that funny. Like, you really should consider his feelings because at the end of the day, if the shoe was on the other foot, you would want him to respect your feelings. That's all Zach is asking for everybody to respect his space and his feelings. You, Bryce, everybody. It's not funny. It really isn't. So Bryce and Angela, they come out of Bryce's office, and Angela tells them that the two of them are going to make great partners, and Fatima is still teasing Zach and says, yes, they're going to be great partners. But really, you know, she's trying to be funny with Zach, you know, their little inside joke. And so Bryce ends up saying he's getting ready to take Angela out to eat. And they ask Zach and Fatima would they like to join them. And quickly, Zach is like a hell no. He don't want to. But he blames it on his stomach bothering him. He say he has the bubble guts. They say they're trying to cleanse. And he go to making all these noises and grunts and groans like Martin used to do. So basically, they don't go. Bryce and Angela leave. And Fatima was like, really? Bubble guts? And she said something to him about you're going to be a great partner with your boyfriend or something. I'm like, Fatima, leave that man. Fatima and Zach, they pull into their driveway, and we see a woman. We know now that it's Nate's wife, Lori. She's waiting outside her car with a bat. So when Fatima and Zach get out their car, Lori rolls up on them, and Fatima automatically jumps out her car with her hand in her purse because we know what's in the purse. We already know. And, you know, Zach already knows, so he immediately goes and try to jump in between them before any words are even exchanged. So Zach jumps in between the two of them because Lori is yelling and screaming, that bitch is messing with Nate. And, you know, they're going back and forth saying the same thing. And she keeps calling Fatima a bitch. And Fatima's like, bitch, you know. and keeps telling Zach, get her, get her. And Zach is like, Lori, what is the problem? So she finally says that she tracked Nate's phone and the phone is here at this location. And she's saying, accusing Fatima of being the person that Nate is sleeping with. So I'm trying to figure out, like, how did you come to that conclusion? First of all, Fatima pulled up in her car the same time that Zach pulled up in his car. They're coming home together. I don't see Nate in any one of those cars. Nate is not still hiding in one of the cars. So where did you get that from? So that off top was kind of dumb to me. And what I also didn't like was the whole time she's going back and forth about that, not one time did Zach say, no, this is my lady, this is my woman, this is my fiance. You know, like all you had to say was, this is my fiance. So why do we have to go back and forth for like 10 minutes? That was stupid as hell. So as Zach stands between the two of them trying to keep the peace, they're still going back and forth with the hollering and screaming, and she's still saying, bitch this, blah, blah, blah. So she is insisting that Nate is inside of their house, and Zach keeps telling her over and over, no, he is not. She said, well, call him on the phone. Zach says, say less. He calls the phone on speakerphone, but of course Nate doesn't answer. So she says, well, he's in there. I know he's in there. So she pulls out her phone and shows Zach that her location says that, well, for her tracking the phone says that he is in this area, in the vicinity. So he has to be in their house. So they going back and forth again. Fatima is like, if you got to do all that, you don't need him. You need to leave him alone. And so, of course, you know, more bitches fly. Zach jumping up and down, hollering to the top of his lungs like, ladies, I got neighbors. We need to elevate. Oh. So he gets the bat from Lori and tell her to go up to the door. He'll come and let her in to go look, if anything, to calm her nerves. Fatima is like, really? You need to handle that. He's like, well, give me your purse. She said, I'm not giving you shit. She said, I'm not going to have nobody coming over here disrespecting me. And as we know, our girl been disrespected all week long. We had Karen over there calling her all kind of bitches. Now we got Lori over here in her driveway calling her all kind of bitches. Lori should have been peeling her damn self up off that concrete. That's what I know. So Zach snatches the purse and tells Fatima, look, I am the man of the house. I said, all right, Zach. And you need to start listening to me. You hear me? Listen. As he's saying he's the man of the house, he's slinging her purse across his shoulder. I said, Zach is so silly. So he goes up to the door to let Lori in, and Fatima comes behind him steaming, and Lori staring in her face. She tells her, take your ass on in there and look for him. As Zach tries to close the door, you can hear the neighbor across the street say, you sure you don't need me to call the police? He comes out, he has the bat in his hand, he has the purse across his shoulder. He's like, I'm fine, everything's fine. You can go back in the house, ma'am. Zach be so embarrassed by them neighbors. He do not want them neighbors looking at him no kind of way. You hear me? Lori is stomping all over the house. She looking in the kitchen cabinets. She looking in drawers. She throwing their pillows all over the floor. And Fatima said, don't do that. She said, Zach says, well, I see he's not here. And she says, well, can I go upstairs? And Fatima tells her, she said, yeah, as long as you're not tearing up shit the way you doing down here. And she said, and did you think the nigga was really in the cabinets, in the cupboards, in the drawers, and under the pillow? She said, well, I don't know. That's why I'm going upstairs to see. I'm like, this girl is crazy. Y'all ever notice that every time somebody comes to their house, they want to go upstairs where their bedroom is and always be up there for like the longest time? And they let them go up there. Like, most bedrooms are off limits, you would think, but everybody always wants to go up their stairs. I don't know why. While Lori is upstairs, Fatima asks Zach, like, what is this all about? So Zach tells her that is Nate's wife, and Fatima looking like, oh, and she was getting ready to assault me? So, Zach sees how she's looking. He's like, oh, wait, I'm sorry, trying to keep her calm. And Fatima was like, no, no, she was mad disrespectful, which she was. So she said, you need to watch the company that you keep. And Zach was like, me? He was like, I'm looking at me. I was the peacemaker. I got to hold y'all back. I got to hold your purse. He he like, I'm trying to keep the peace. And he said, if I'm going to be honest, this drama wasn't about me. She was coming at you. So Fatima was like, really, Zach? Really? We talking about drama? Drama? Well, I'm not the one a boy tried to kiss. So Zach was like, really? That's what we doing? She was like, hey, he said, I should have let her hit you with this bat. And she said, nigga, you would have been next. And, then they start their little playful banter and flirting and stuff. They getting ready to smooch and kiss. And here come Lori back down the stairs. Lori comes back and she apologizes because, of course, raggedy ass Nate is not upstairs. So Fatima says, that could have really ended bad for you. You know that, right? And Lori, she doesn't back down. She looked at her like, for who? Like, not for me. And Zach trying to play the peacemaker. We're cool. I thought we were all cool, right? Fatima said, that all depends. And Lori says, didn't I just apologize? And Fatima was like, look, I'm getting real tired of your attitude, girl. And so Lori ends up saying, look, it's Nate. He just makes me feel, act really, really crazy. So they seem like they feel a little sympathy for her. And Fatima says, well, you know what? You really shouldn't be with someone that makes you feel like that. And Lori says, well, that's easy for you to say. To me, I feel like Fatima telling Lori that she shouldn't be with somebody that makes her feel that way, it's kind of like the pot calling the kettle black, because we've seen Fatima pop off about Zach. She smashed people's heads in the wall. She threatens Deja every chance she gets. And I don't see what the difference is. You're still acting a certain kind of way. You have a man making you act a certain kind of way. It's the same thing. And when you see how Lori's attitude is and how Fatima's attitude is when they get to that level, the two of them act just alike. They probably could be friends later on down the line, because you see similarities between the two of them. When you're with somebody cheating on you and all of that, should you go around beating bitches' ass and all of that? No, you shouldn't. Should you leave them? Yeah, you probably should. But like she tells her, it's easy to say. It's easier said than done. So in real life, realistically, this happens all the time. This happens every day. People find people cheating and they ready to go off. So, hey, that's life and it's real life. So, yeah, we know what you really should be doing, but at the same time, look, you think your man cheating, you gonna go to the spot where you think he cheating at, and you ready to beat somebody's ass. It's just as simple as that. So is Lori wrong for disrespecting Fatima off the top like that? Yeah, she wrong as hell. She was mad disrespectful, like Fatima said, but for Fatima to sit there and say she shouldn't be with somebody to make her feel like that, yeah, she should not. But she is married to Nate. Her and Nate have kids. So there's history there. It's a story we don't know about yet. So hopefully maybe we'll get that story, because I can see Lori probably being around for a little minute, because she seems like a carrot that can bring a little spice, because she got the little attitude about her. But my thing is, her and Fatima act just alike. So you're telling her something that you already doing, and you just met Zach. And you're not married to Zach yet. And you already popping off and ready to bash heads in with bats. So I don't see what the difference is. So Zach tells Lori, can I get you something on your way out? Like, basically trying to say, look, you got to go. So she said, I just need some water. And he gets ready to get her some water. And then she said, well, I need some air. So Fatima ends up going to get some water for her. And Zach gonna mumble to Fatima, like, don't you put none in her water. Like, why would she do that? So he goes to open up the sliding door, the door, whatever, so she can get some air. Zach opens the door and gets startled and quickly closes the door back. And now he's acting all crazy. And Fatima was like, Zach, open the door. Like, what's your problem? He says, no, I'm going to just turn the AC on. And what she says, no, she needs fresh air. So she goes to Lori and say, do you want to go outside to the back? And Zach is like panicking. He's like, no, no, no. Zach comes up with an excuse about you can't go to the backyard because the dust from the construction is out there. And he says, you can go to the front door, right? And Fatima's like, you know who lived next door? And quickly, Laura's like, who lived next door? So Zach like, oh, nobody lives next door. Nobody lives next door. So Fatima said, stop being weird. Stop acting crazy. So she goes to the back, to the door that leads to the backyard. And she looks out and sees Deja and damn raggedy ass Nate in their jacuzzi. So Fatima gets heated and she looks at Zach. She's like, no, I'm not helping you. So he's mumbling under his breath and trying to talk loud enough for Laura to hear. Oh, the laundry's outside and we got a guest, and talk about some mess about the laundry, but really we know the laundry's supposed to be the Nate and Deja. So he goes to, what he was trying to do was alert Nate on the sly that Lori was upstairs. So he starts talking real loud. He's like, come on, Lori, let's go, Lori, out the front door. Come on, Lori. No, acting just how Martin used to act, just so silly. He's just so silly. So he tells Lori, it's a shame how he does you, Lori, and actually hands her the bat back, right? But he's trying to distract her so he can get her out the front door. And I guess Fatima was like, bump that. She going down there. Nate and Deja out there having them a lovely time. They got the music playing. They up there blowing guns in each other's face, drinking and shit. They don't even hear Fatima coming, clunking up down the stairs. She had to take her shoes off. She went and grabbed Deja by the hair. She got, oh. She done grabbed Deja by the hair and dragged her ass out the jacuzzi and beat her ass like, oh, what the hell you doing in my backyard? And she done gave her that quick 1-2 blop blop. And Deja got up screaming, telling some you crazy bitch. And she said, get your ass out my yard. This scene is where Nate will forever be on my shit list and will not be coming off because I can't stand his ass. Fatima asked him, does Zach know you're back here? Yeah, he knows, with his lying ass. Fatima said, so you mean to tell me Zach know that you got this bitch back here in my backyard? And he was like, this is Zach's house. I said, ugh. Fatima said, nigga, this my house. You see this ring? He looking all like he saw a ghost, like his heart just sank to the bottom of his stomach or something, like, that nigga proposed to you? Well, goddamn, you act like you want Zach. Is that what it is? You want Zach? Because that's how you acting. So he tells her, it's just an engagement ring. It don't matter. You're not the wife. And Fatima says, so what? So he puts his damn finger in her face and says, take your ass back in the house. Like, nigga, who you talking to? Before we know it, Fatima done hauled off and slapped the dog shit out his rude, disrespectful ass. And I was here for it. Then we see Zach coming running down the steps. I guess he was flying, child. He got to come play peacemaker again. We got Nate over there holding his damn jaw because we know it is stinging from that slap. Zach comes in. He looks at Nate. What are you doing, man? Like, Nate yells, oh, she just punched Deja in the face. Okay, Ann, what the hell that got to do with your ass? Deja ain't your wife. The hell you trying to worry about Deja getting punched in the face for? Worry about that slap, bitch. So Zach looks at Fatima like, what are you doing? Fatima says, well, he said that you told him it was all right to be back here. So Zach looks at Nate like, why are you lying? Why did you lie to her? Then Zach has to quickly turn to Fatima because he already knows how she gets. She gonna believe what the hell Nate talking about. So he has to plead his case like, I never told him that. I promise you I didn't say that. So Nate blurts out, man, fuck her. I said, say what? I said, what you said? Fatima said, fuck me. He said, yeah, fuck you and bounce. Oh my God. So Zach says, man, watch your mouth. And he like, watch my mouth. Like, man, fuck her. I've been knowing you since I was 10 and you mean to tell me you gonna turn your back on me? I guess Fatima said I got something for his ass. So she goes out front so she could try to catch back up with Lori. She goes outside and Lori's getting ready to get in the car. And she stops her, and Lori was like, I'm sorry. And Fatima was like, girl, don't even worry about it. You're fine. She said, why don't you come back inside? Just come on inside. I got something I think you would like to see. But let's walk around here to the back on the side. So Lori spots Nate's car. She said, oh, that's his car right there. And Fatima was like, oh, that's his car? What is it doing here? As if she don't know. I said, that goddamn Fatima crazy. So Zach asks Nate, what is he even doing back there? And Nate has the nerve to say to him, oh, you're supposed to be at work. Say what? So Zach says, so you decide to have sex in my jacuzzi? And Nate is like, well, she gave me her number too. Like, as if to say, you're not the only one can get her phone number. And Zach is like, I don't care that you got her number, bro. Relax. I don't care. For some reason, Nate thinks that Zach wants Deja. He does not want her. Are you jealous? Is that what it is? You're jealous of Zach? Anyway, so we have this long, drawn-out scene where Zach is constantly rushing him to put his clothes on. Get your clothes on. Hurry up, hurry up. You gotta go. And Nate is like, oh, it's like that? It's like that? We're supposed to be bros. Oh, she got you like that? And, oh, that's how it is? And he just going on and on because he think it has something to do with Fatima. All the while, Zach rushing him because he knows that Lori is right outside. He's telling him, you got to go out the back. You got to go out the back. Hurry up, hurry up. I'm trying to help you, bro. Hurry up. Oh, my God. They just went back and forth with that. And I got to know it with that because I can't understand why Zach just did not say that Lori was outside. Why couldn't you just say that your wife is looking for you? That's all you had to say, but we had to go through this whole drawn-out scene with you rushing him out the door, trying to make him think one thing when we already knew it was something else. Like, just tell him. Fatima comes back in. She's like, don't leave now, don't leave. And Nate is like, you better get your girl. She said, why you in here fucking bitches in the hot tub? And he told her, go find you some business. And he ended up telling Zach, see, this the kind of stuff I got to deal with at home with my wife. And Fatima was like, your wife? You didn't act like you had a wife before. And he tells her, man, all right, fuck you. He back to the fuck yous. And Zach, I didn't like Zach this whole scene and the one before that because it's like all this mediator trying to keep everybody apart, but you still not checking him for disrespecting Fatima. You still not checking him. It's like all the fuck you. So Zach gonna say, oh, you can't say that. What? He can't say that. That's all you got to say about that? Child, whatever. So anyway, he says that's what he has to go through with his wife, and he handled his at home. He got his wife, basically saying he got her in check. So Fatima like, you got it? All right, have it then. So he goes to walk out the door and opens the door and bloop, Lord done popped that motherfucking bat right in his nose, got his nose bleeding, dripping. He like, oh, you done broke my nose. She's screaming all over him like, handle me, motherfucker. Thomas, she said, you lying, cheating ass bastard. And she runs off. And he's sitting up there looking stupid, talking about, Lori, baby, come back. It's not what it looks like. Get the hell out of here. Zach and Fatima, they go back in the house and sit down. And, Fatima, she got her arms folded. So, she hotter than fish grease right now. And she said, that's one grimy ass nigga, talking about Nate. And Zach, he agrees, but he told her that she should have never went and got Lori to bring her round to the back. And, Fatima looking like, really? So she basically wanted to know, do the two of them, Nate and Zach, do they be covering for each other? And Zach told her, no, they don't. And so Fatima was like, well, hell, then today was the perfect time for her to find out what was going on. And so Zach said, well, you should have had that same energy when your homegirl boyfriend tried to kiss on me. And Fatima was like, man, that ain't even the same. And Zach was like, that's exactly the same. So Zach tells Fatima to explain to him how the two situations are different. Fatima couldn't say a damn thing. All you heard was crickets. He waited on his answer. And he said, exactly, my point. So she was like, well, you know what? We're just not going to agree on this. And, why y'all can't agree? It's the same thing. It's like all these double standards. Like, it's okay for Bryce to kiss him, but not a female. It's okay for Lori to find out, but not Angela. Like, girl, We see Fatima is later on in that day, same day, and she gets a phone call from Angela. Angela wants to talk about Bryce and tells Fatima that he's being extra quiet since they left the office, because before she told him he was being quiet. So now it's extra. So she's asking Fatima, does she know anything? And Fatima was like, girl, talk to your man about whatever, just talk to him. She's going back and forth. What do you know? Tell me, all that shit. Bottom line is, Fatima said, talk to your man. It is about the situation from before, so go talk to him about it. She says she needs reinforcement, so she don't want to talk to him in private. She had like he beating her ass or something. Is he whooping on you, Angela? Because I know he not putting his hands on you to where you can't stand up for yourself and go find out what the hell you need to know about your relationship, but you got all the answers for Fatima when it comes to Zach. Girl, oh my God. So she tells her, we want to come over there for dinner. And Fatima was like, didn't you leave the office to go out to eat? She said, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. Why not? So she was like, can we come over? We're coming over, right? We're on our way. We're coming over. Fatima like, hold up. Hold the hell up. You're not just going to pop up here, girl. I got to talk to my man first and find out what's going on. And I'll call you back and let you know what time it is. What's going on? You're not just going to come over here. Like, why is Angela trying to get over there so bad? So we see Zach. He's in the back cleaning the jacuzzi out, and he gets a call from Tony saying he's coming through. Tony comes around the back. They get to talking. He tells him that Nate called him and that Nate is pissed. Zach wants to know what he said, what happened, and told Tony that Nate brought a girl to his house. And he wanted to know how long. I didn't understand what the question was that Zach was asking. I don't know if he was saying how long was Nate messing with Deja, or how long. I didn't understand what the question was. So Tony told him he didn't know. He just saw that he got the number. He didn't even know they were hooking up or whatever. So Zach is like, well, you know that same girl has been at me. Okay, Ann, what's your point, Zach? So Zach keeps saying, I got a girl that lives with me. And Tony was like, well, if I was you, you should hit that or something. He getting ready to say, and Zach keeps telling him, calm down, lower your voice. It's late. She can hear you. And Zach keeps saying, I got a girl. I can't do all of that. Wait a minute. Let's push pause, Zach, because you have a fiance. You don't have a girl that lives with you. You have a fiance. And you're acting like if you didn't have a girl, you would hit. So what is the issue? Are you jealous that Nate actually did sleep with her? What is the problem? Tony asked him, what is he going to do? He says, I'm going to avoid her. Well, you were supposed to be doing that anyway, so why all of a sudden it's any different now? I mean, I'm confused. So I feel like Tony, he was trying to come in peace. He keeps apologizing to Zach, but Tony didn't do anything. Zach is giving all this extra aggressive energy towards Tony as if he did something, but you couldn't give it to Nate. Like, that's the problem I have. It's like, why you can't give it to Nate? So he keeps telling them they both need to grow up, and Nate has no reason to be pissed because he's the one that did what happened. He brought the girl to his house and cheated or did whatever. And he said he just trying to live different. He want to live right. And he want his friends to grow the hell up. But Tony, I kind of felt sorry for Tony a little bit because he didn't do anything, He keeps apologizing and he's like, well, let me try to help and make it right. Zach still, I don't need your help. I don't need Nate's help. Man, look, I've been there. I've been there since Pee-wee. Like, let me try to make it right, help you out. So he was like, you know what? You're right. I apologize. I'm sorry. So he realizes that Tony did not do anything. Because I don't understand why you yelling at Tony about everything. But you can't say shit to Nate. That shit pisses me off. Nate is the one you need to be saying stuff to, and you never do it. Fatima comes down. They greet each other. She speaks to Tony. Tony speaks back. Nice and cordial, She offers Tony a beer, and Tony got all hyped up like, oh, hell yeah. And Zach gave him that parent look where you don't have to say a word, but you just give that look, and the person know what the hell's going on. So Tony saw that look and he was like, you know what? I'm on a cleanse, so I'm going to go ahead and head on out. And, he told Zach, if you need help cleaning the jacuzzi tomorrow, I'll come back tomorrow and help you out. So Tony leaves, and Fatima asks Zach, is Tony a better friend? And Zach says, well, he's better than Nate. And she was like, yeah, I see. So she asked Zach, is he still mad? And he was like, no, I'm just aggravated. So she's trying to see where his mood at, because she wants to tell him that Angela wants to come over. And Zach is like, okay, Ann. And she was like, with Bryce. And Zach is like, no, like, that don't have nothing to do with me. Like, that's all on him. I'm like, that's what I said. Like, why are they coming over there? So Fatima is like, I think you all should come together and, just talk over what happened, because her thing is they are in business together, and she thinks that Bryce is a good source for him, I guess, business-wise, and I guess just, talk and lay everything out on the table, basically. But Zach really is not feeling it. He's really not in the mood. And my thing is, I would feel like if the day that they have had, they've really had a long day. So after all that drama from earlier, it seemed to me y'all would be trying to, relax, get something to eat, and just chill with each other and, be with yourselves, not having to, again, deal with somebody else's foolishness. So I wouldn't have even asked Zach to bring Bryce over there after the day they've had. So, I mean, but, Angela begged, and now she's going to force it on Zach to make him agree to that. And it's like, once again, people don't respect when he says this and that. Like, it doesn't matter what Zach says or feels. People are always going to force what they want onto Zach. And I think that's not good. Fatima goes back inside. She sees she has a missed call from Kelly, the lady from the office with the test results. So Kelly tells her that she sent her the results to her email. So she says, okay, thank you. Fatima comes back downstairs. So Zach said, well, what did they say? She said, I didn't even call them yet. He said, why not? Because you was all gung-ho about it a few minutes ago. She said, well, I got a call from my office about the test results. And he was like, oh, right, let's go, let's go. He got all excited and happy because, in his head, he just knew in the back of his head, he's straight. So she was like, yeah, the test results from your little stripper baby mama. She said, yeah, you got one in VIP. You got one moving in next door. So she said, you got a thing for strippers? He said, look, when this proves that that's not my baby, you're going to have to let all this go. So they playing around or whatever, and she sees the results first. So, her expression totally changes. Zach goes to grab the phone from Fatima, tells her to quit playing. He want to see the results for herself. So she gives him the phone, and now his mood has changed. And now we know that Zach is the father of Heather's child, 99.9. And we're like, oh my God. The episode ends there. Well, guys, that will conclude season 1 of Zatima. The show is really good. It is a wonderful show. I really enjoyed it. I love me some Zach and Fatima. You hear me? I love Zatima. They are real. And yeah, I cannot wait for season 2 to drop. I'm kind of disappointed. I do not have 2 new episodes to watch next week. But hey, I'll just go back and rewatch the whole season. But hey, yeah. Catch me when season 2 drops, you guys. I want to say thank you for watching and listening. And I'll see you guys then. Peace.